Hi, I'm Liz.
And I'm Daryl, and here's the lovely Anthea.
And I'm Anthea.
Oh, you are Anthea?
Yes.
Okay.
So we're just going to tell you a little bit about Sozo for Couples. So Anthea, can you tell us what a Sozo for Couples session is?
It's an opportunity for a husband and wife, or for an engaged couple, or even a couple, to have a SOSA session. For those of you who know what a SOSA session is to together listen to God, hear from Him, and to hear from God what He thinks of their marriage, and to understand any lies that they've believed about their marriage, and about life hurts, wounds, etc.
So, Daryl, how will that impact a married couple?
There's something very special about having everyone who knows about Sozo knows how special Sozo is as a ministry, because it gets to the root of the problems that affects an individual. Now, if you imagine a couple having a Sozo and in essence sitting in and listening to each other's to each other's stuff and to the explanation of what the root of those things were, then it is extremely powerful, because suddenly each of a couple recognizes and understands that what's been going on in their marriage isn't due to any fault of theirs, but more often than not due to something that happened in their partner's youth. And that, when done to both of the couple, makes a huge difference to the marriage. We have seen some astonishing changes in marriages through having a Sozo for Couple session.
And can anyone have a Sozo for Couple session who is married?
Well, yes. I've just had to think about that in case there were any exceptions, but can you think of any exceptions?
Any married couple?
Yeah, any married couple, any non-married couple, actually. But, we've also found out, Liz, do you remember we had a story once in the States when we were together there, of one of our Sozo for Couples ministers who used the Sozo for Couples tools on a mother and an aunt, her mother and an aunt, who had fallen out years ago and hadn't spoken for years. And just using the tools, they got back to the origin of the problem and sorted it.
So it's not just about sozoing the marriage, you can sozo the relationship, whatever that relationship is.
Yeah, we could have called it relational sozo, couldn't we?
So Daryl, can you tell us what makes a Sozo for Couples session different than an individual session?
That's a very good question. We would recommend that any couple has the two members of a couple have their own individual sessions before coming for a couple session. Why is that? Well, the answer is that when a Sozo for Couple session, we're sozoing the marriage and not the individuals. What we're trying to do in a Sozo for Couple session is get to the root of what's affecting the marriage, not the individual people.
Okay, so Anthea, I guess the other question that I would have is then why would people do a Sozo for Couple session and not just go for marriage counselling?
I suppose it goes back to what drew me to Sozo for Couples, or the whole idea of it, was that Daryl and I had been looking for a long time for help, and we had gone for counselling. We'd done other marriage courses that were out there, but none of them really got to the root of our issues. So we needed something a lot deeper. So because we already knew about the Sozo tools, we know that those tools individually can get really deep. And we thought, well, why not do that as a couple? Because we know that we can get to the deep issues, we can get to the wounds and the lies, and also when you're there listening to each other respond to God, you get to understand that their issues just aren't about you. So those times that we've taken offense when our husband or wife have said something aren't necessarily about us personally. It's because of their wounds, and to be in a session and to hear what brought those wounds about is really powerful.
And so how would people find out about a Sozo for Couples session?
Well, the best way, of course, is to, if they can first of all, Google it, because if you Google Sozo for Couples, you'll find our wonderful website. And then the easy thing then is to email in or just get in touch to say, we'd love to hear more about it.
That's great. So if you want to check out our website, it's www.sozoforcouples.org, and you'll be able to find out more about Sozo for Couples sessions, and even if you want to learn how to train on that website.
Our Facebook page.
Or our Facebook page, yeah.
Or Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Or can't think, must be something else.